Hey guys, I've got a lesson for you on adding and subtracting mixed numbers. But before I get started with the lesson, I thought I would just quickly review with you what is a mixed number. So a mixed number is a value represented with a whole number and a fraction. This would be 1 2/3. If I wanted to draw a picture to represent this, sorry, that's probably not perfect, but it's close enough. Okay, so that picture represents one whole, and 2/3. How many thirds would this be altogether? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So a mixed number is just another way to represent an improper fraction. And that is what we were discussing when we left school back in March. We learned to convert improper fractions to mixed numbers. Okay, so let's get started with today's topic. So you may be presented with your mixed numbers horizontally, meaning they're going like this, maybe in this fashion. They also might be presented like this. Vertically. I would suggest to you to go ahead and get in the habit of writing them this way. And you'll see why I say that in just a minute. So if you're given your mixed number equation horizontally, rewrite it like this. So I'm going to swing this number or this value down here. Okay. So notice that I paid special attention to stacking the fraction under the other fraction and the whole number under the other whole number. And I did that because just like when we are adding or subtracting whole numbers, we keep place values lined up vertically. So, for example, if I were adding these quantities, this would be my units place. This column would be my tens place. This column would be my hundreds place. The same is true when we're adding and subtracting mixed fractions or mixed numbers. This is the fraction place value. This is the whole number place value, or we could say our ones place, our units place. Okay? So just like with adding whole numbers, we're going to start with the smallest place value, which is our fractional place value. So 2/3 plus 1/3. We know our denominator is going to be thirds. 2 plus 1 is 3. One plus 2 is 3. And before we go any further, I just wanted to point out, notice that when I added my fractions, I did not add the denominators. Remember when we were doing this work with the fraction pieces, if I had, I'll draw these pictures again, these thirds. If I had 2/3 together with 1/3, when I add those together, it makes 3/3. My fraction family that I'm working with doesn't magically change to sixths, right? We're working with thirds, and we have 2/3 together with 1/3 gives us 3/3. And then you just move to the next place value, just like we would with whole numbers, and add your whole numbers. Now, hopefully you're seeing this right here and saying, hey, that's the same as 1 whole. You're exactly right. So when you have a mixed number whose fractional portion is the same as 1 whole, you can go ahead and add that to your whole number. So if we have 3 wholes and 1 whole, our final answer for this equation would be 4. Okay, let's do another example. Let's say we have 2 and 1. Let's say 2 and 2/7 plus 1 and 3/7. So just like when we're adding whole numbers, we're going to start with our smallest place value. 2/7 plus 3/7 gives us 5/7, and 2 plus 1 is 3. So let's take a look at our fraction part. It looks like it's in the right form. Doesn't need to be simplified. So our final answer here is 3 5/7. I am going to do one subtraction example with you real quick. It works exactly the same way. Let's say we have 5 7/8 minus 2 3/8. Well, we know that our denominator for the fraction portion is going to be eighths, because when the fraction families are the same, eighths and eighths, that does not change. If we start with 7/8 and we take away 3/8, 7 minus 3 is 4/8. Then move to the whole numbers. 5 minus 2 is 3. So one final thing, when you think you are done with your problem and you have an answer, always check the fractional part. You know, with that first example I did, we had ended up with 3/3, and we realized that we need to simplify that to be 1 whole and add it to our other whole number. For this one, you probably need to ask yourself, can this be reduced? Is there a simpler, oh, that's terrible, sorry about that. Is there a simpler fraction that is the same value as 4/8? Do you guys see it? Hope so. 4/8 is the same as 1/2. So we're going to reduce 4/8 to 1/2. So our final simplified answer is 3 1/2. Okay, your assignment is posted and should be activated on Study Island. So give it a shot, and if you have questions, just let me know.